Shalom. Koholo Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahushua, Bahashim Rakakadash, for blessing me with the spirit to do this lesson. And if you don't know by now, or if you ain't got it by now, that Babylon the Great is at its end, then that means more than likely you're gonna be destroyed, man. If you believe that this place has 20 more years, 10 more years under the inhabitants thereof, you are completely through and gone, man. You have droves upon droves upon droves of people who are now seeing that this country is at its end. But yet you have you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans who will continue to party and bullshit. Which this thing is gonna hit y'all as a thief in the night. Right? Only a fool will believe that he has a future here. Right? You're about to witness a great collapse in every area, whether it's financially, it's dealing with the food, pretty much your livelihood is about to be snatched away from you, man. And us, the prophets, we've been warning you. We've been warning you, man. And you are not taking heed to the warning. So, hey, whatever your wisdom is in these last days, you're gonna have to stand on that, man. That's gonna have to get you by. You know? So let me get a scripture. This is this is 2nd Ezra chapter 6, 16, verse 1. Woe be unto thee, Babylon and Asia. Woe be unto thee, Egypt and Syria. Gird up yourselves with cloths of sack and hair. Bewail your children and be sorry, for your destruction is at hand. None of that's good, man. Right? The Lord is telling you to prepare in a way like you've never prepared for before, man. You got people from all nations in this country knowing the collapse that's coming, feeling the collapse that's coming. But you Israelites, you so hooked up on 4th of July, you know, the next time you can cook out and go to a outing or a fucking party or something. You're not worried about what's about to come into your life, man, which is destruction, uncomfortability. All of these things are about to hit you at once, man. And I'm going to tell you right now, a lot of our people, they're not going to be able to deal with it because they're not getting spiritually prepared. Right? Because we at the end. Let me get one more. Then we're going to play this. This is 2nd Ezra, chapter 8, one of my favorite scriptures. 2nd Ezra, chapter 8, verse 50. For many great miseries shall be done to them that in the latter time, meaning in the last days, shall dwell in the world because they have walked in great pride, man. And nobody's more prideful than these Babylonians. Right? This is a video from the brother Hopeful Elect 3, you know, and it's titled Bumbalon. It's at the brink of great collapse. Right? This country is hanging on a pinky right now off the hill, man. Off the edge, rather. Hanging on a pinky right now. And that pinky is sliding slowly but surely off of that rock, man. Let's read it again. Second Esdras 8 and 50. For many great miseries shall be done to them that in the latter time shall dwell in the world, because they have walked in great pride, man. And everybody's prideful. Here it is. You got all this chaos taking place throughout the earth, but these people here in America, when you see them, they have this spirit on them as if they're going to get through it. They're going to get past it. This is America. We can overcome anything. This right here that's about to hit this country is on a whole nother level, man, that these people have not seen. So let's play this, man. Yahba Shem Al-Shah, willing to elect the other five. Shalom.
The American system is not stable. It's not sustainable. And despite the flashy lights, record stock market highs, and manufactured optimism, deep inside, everyone knows something is deeply wrong. The truth is, we're not avoiding collapse. We're mid-collapse. What we're witnessing now is a slow motion fall cushioned only by illusion, distraction, and digital dopamine. And if you're still living like the system is solid, dependable, and recoverable, you're asleep at the wheel of a burning car. Let's start with the basics. The United States government is over $34 trillion in debt. That's not just a number. That's more than the entire US GDP. That means if we took everything the country makes in a year, every product, every service, every paycheck, every transaction, and gave it to the federal government, it still wouldn't cover the debt. And worse, we're borrowing just to pay the interest. In 2024, we passed $1 trillion per year in interest payments alone. That's over $3 billion per day paid to banks, foreign nations, and investors just to keep pretending the machine is still running. Where's that money coming from? The answer is simple. The Federal Reserve is creating it out of thin air. This process, known as quantitative easing, is just a fancy way of saying we're inflating the money supply to delay the inevitable. It's modern alchemy. But unlike ancient gold, this alchemy decays value. It dilutes every dollar in your bank account. Since 2020 alone,
we've been telling you that, man. The American dollar is a piece of shit, man. Soon that money, because you got Jake, flaunting his money in his music videos or whatever, man. And you got, our people always, figuring that their financial status makes them better than the next person. And they take pride in that. Well, they're about to find out that that money that they have in their pockets is worth nothing, man, but to wipe their ass or make a fire. That's all it's going to be worth real soon. And that soon is right around the corner. We've been telling you this, man. The American dollar is pretty much done. Right?
Alone, over 40% of all US dollars in existence were printed. Let that sink in. Almost half of the money in circulation today did not exist just 5 years ago. And you wonder why groceries, rent, and gas are off the charts? But this isn't just about the economy. The entire governmental structure is built on sand. Congress is dysfunctional. Executive agencies operate like private kingdoms. Lobbyists write the laws, and both political parties are little more than competing brands of the same broken oligarchy. We don't have representation. We have regulatory capture. Just look at how banks write banking laws, how Big Pharma funds the FDA, how defense contractors shape foreign policy. The military-industrial complex isn't a conspiracy theory. It's a business plan. And every war, every conflict, every arms deal is profit. Then there's the dollar itself. Once, the undisputed king of global trade. But now, BRICS nations, Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa are actively moving to de-dollarize. They're building alternatives to SWIFT. They're trading oil in yuan. They're launching gold-backed settlement systems. The petrodollar, which for decades forced the world to buy oil with US currency, is unraveling. And when the world no longer needs our money to buy oil, the dollar will lose global demand. That's when the inflation we export to other countries comes flooding back home. This is the real reason why central bank.
And then you have we was speaking to this Edomite at camp, and he was telling us that pretty much in the future a gallon of milk is going to cost $10,000 US. That's how bad it's going to get out here, man. You ain't seen nothing yet, man. Eggs being $7, $8, $10. You ain't seen nothing yet. Soon as you're gonna walk in the store, eggs are gonna go for $200, right? And your paycheck ain't but $250, $400, a week, or whatever the hell you make, man. The scriptures tell you in the last days that people were gonna eat their food in rations, man. Right? This is Isaiah chapter 24, verse 1. Behold, the Lord maketh the earth empty, and maketh it waste, and turneth it upside down. This is what you see with America, man. America is being turned upside down, man. This world is being turned upside down. Why? Because the Lord is about to deliver the elect of the nation of Israel, man. The earth is about to go back in its perfect form, man. What is his true rulers, with its true rulers, which are the Israelites, right? Under Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. It says, and scattereth abroad the inhabitants thereof. And it shall be as with the people, so with the priest, as with the servant, so with his master, as with the maid, so with her mistress, as with the buyer, so with the seller, as with the lender, so with the borrower, as with the taker of usury, so with the giver of usury to him. So everybody is about to be on the same level, man. Right? There's not about to be statuses, right, where this person got all the wealth and this person has literally nothing, man. The rich is going to come down, right? You see these videos with people in Monaco, and they got these super duper cars, and they got watches that's $500,000, $500,000, right? Everybody's about to be crying, man. Right? Verse 3. The land shall be utterly emptied and utterly spoiled, for the Lord has spoken this word, man. Because what? Goes back to what I read in 2nd Esdras 8:50, because of the pride. And because of what all nations did to the nation of Israel, first and foremost. Right? Verse 4. The earth mourneth and fadeth away. That's what you see going on. Right? Don't the scriptures say the world shall be weaker with age? Right? This is what you're witnessing, the world being weaker with age. It says, the earth mourneth and fadeth away. The world languisheth and fadeth away. The haughty people of the earth do language, meaning the proud people of the earth. They don't have no idea what the fuck is going on, man. Right? Verse 5. The earth also is defiled under the inhabitants thereof, meaning the leaders. Right? Who's the leader? The wicked. Esau Edom. The so-called white man. He's the wicked and he's the leader, man. Right? It says, because they have transgressed the laws, changed the ordinance, broken the everlasting covenant, man. Right? What covenant was that? That Esau was supposed to, let go of his brother after a dispensation amount of time, man. dispensation of time. He wasn't supposed to rule in wickedness, which he did. He pushes a damn Mo community, give them rights. We just got over. This is actually the last day of Pride Month, which is an abomination. Right? Got people eating whatever they want, doing whatever the hell they want. So the wicked, this devil has broken the covenant, man. So this is why all of this great judgment is about to happen to America, Babylon the Great, and other parts of the world, man. Israel, right? Because those people don't belong in the land, and they're not the people of the land, right? So it's up, man.
Digital currencies, or CBDCs, are being quietly developed. They are not about innovation. They're about control. They represent a new financial cage where every transaction is tracked, every purchase can be denied, and your access to money can be restricted at will. It's programmable currency in a surveillance state, and it will be sold to the public using the same language they always use: safety, equity, and fighting crime. But make no mistake, this is digital feudalism. Meanwhile, America's social fabric is tearing apart. Trust in government is at historic lows. Crime is rising in cities hollowed out by bad policy.
And that's going into a digital currency, man. And you're going to have to get a procedure done in order to be a part of it. You know? For one, you know, most of these people, they're going to take it because their spirit is down with it, man. They're willing to sacrifice whatever they got to sacrifice in order to keep their millions, keep their money. So when it goes digital, hey, if they got to get a implant, they're going to do that. Right? If they got to get that stamp, they're going to do that. You know? That's going to be the end all be all, man. And you're going to get destroyed. You're going to get destroyed, man.
And hopelessness. The media, both mainstream and social, have turned into psychological operations. Divide and distract. Manipulate and medicate. Keep the population emotionally occupied while the pillars of the system are sawed off behind the scenes. This isn't incompetence, it's deliberate mismanagement. So what happens next? The cycle is simple. Debt spirals lead to either default or hyperinflation. Default means the US admits it can't pay and the global financial system implodes. Hyperinflation means the government keeps printing, destroying the dollar's value until it's worth less than the paper it's printed on, which it already is. Either outcome ends the current order. And in that chaos, a reset will be proposed. A new system, likely global, where your digital identity, health records, carbon footprint, and money are merged into one centralized control hub. They will call it progress. They'll call it the solution. But it will be a prison dressed up as utopia. This isn't fear-mongering. It's forecasting, based on math, history, and human nature. Empires don't last forever. Currency systems collapse every few generations. Governments rot under the weight of their own corruption. We're not special. We're just next. So what can you do? Unplug from the illusion. Reduce your dependency on centralized systems.
And that's what the Lord is telling you so-called Negro, Latino, Native Americans to depart, right? Micah 2:10 says, arise ye and depart, for this is not your rest, because it is polluted. It shall destroy you even with a sore destruction, man. If you don't depart, you're going to die, man. You're going to be sorry. Right? Chaos is about to ensue. Right? Race war, civil war. Your best friend going to become your worst enemy real soon, man. Right? And you don't have to take My word for it. You don't even have to. Hey, at this point, you got so many people believing not in this word. You don't have to believe it, but it is going to come to pass, man. The Lord said, uh, uh, when it do come, then they shall know that a prophet have been among them. Because honestly, the Lord is tired of Babylon the Great. The Lord is tired of you fucking wicked ass Israelites, right? He's going to get a 2-for-1 special, man. Right? Where he burned all his 22. It says, a sound of battle is in the land and of great destruction. This is what you're seeing. This is what you're hearing. It says, how is the hammer of the whole earth cut asunder and broken? Right? This is soon what's going to be said. Damn, America collapsed? Because America is the hammer of the earth, man. America is the police of the earth. Right? It says, how is Babylon become a desolation among the nations? Right? And these nations, they're seeing the collapse of Babylon, man. America is not the way it was 50 years ago. America is not the way it was 10 years ago, man. Right? So this place is skating on thin ice, man. And that ice is about to crack.
Learn a trade, grow your own food, build a network not of followers but of real allies. Move towards sovereignty, not comfort. Build parallel systems, decentralized tech, barter, off-grid living, local food co-ops, because when the collapse hits, and it will, the ones who survive and thrive will not be the ones who had the most dollars. They will be the ones who stopped believing the dollar was their god. Wake up. The empire is falling. Don't get crushed underneath it. Be the fire that rises from the ashes.
And that Edomite was spot on, man. Right? He was cooking. See, these Edomites, man, they know because they know their life has changed in every aspect. And this is this devil's kingdom. So if he's losing, right, we know that there's going to be a shift, right? The kingdom is translated from one people to the other because of unrighteous dealings, right? But a lot of you Israelites, man, you think that this means that you're going to achieve financial freedom and wealth. No. This means that shit is about to get real for you, man. In the worst way. So it's gonna be my last one. We're gonna shut it down. Right? Let me let them play again. This is second Salakia. Let me do something real quick. Mm-hmm. This is Isaiah chapter 13 and verse 3. I'm gonna start at. It says, I have commanded my sanctified ones. I have also called my mighty ones from my anger, and that's the elect, right? It says, they may go into the gates of the nobles. Salakia. Got that wrong. Let me read that again. This is Isaiah 13 and 3. I have commanded my sanctified ones. I have also called my mighty ones for mine anger, even them that rejoice in my highness, and that's the elect. The noise of a multitude in the mountains, like as of a great people, a tumultuous noise, of the kingdoms of nations gathered together, the Lord of hosts mustereth the hosts of the battle. They come from a far country, from the end of heaven, even the Lord, and the weapons of his indignation to destroy the whole land, man. So that's what you got brewing up right now, which is World War III amongst these other nations. It says, how ye, for the day of the Lord is at hand. It shall come as a destruction from the Almighty. Therefore shall all hands be faint, and every man's heart shall melt, man. And that's what is going to be the life of people, man. It's going to be so bad, people are going to just out themselves, man. Because they never dealt with this type of affliction before at this high level. It says, and they shall be afraid, and they are. Fangs and sorrow shall take hold of them. They shall be in pain as a woman that travaileth. They shall be amazed one at another. Their faces shall be as flames, man. Right? People going to look around and be like, man, they can't believe that this is happening. They once knew it was like this. They once knew that their neighbors looked like this and was and had this. But hey, all of this that you see around you on your day-to-day, the way people look, the way people talk to you all nice and act, hey, man, it's about to be a whole fucking flip right before your eyes, man. Verse 9. Behold, the day of the Lord cometh, cruel both with wrath and fierce anger, to lay the land desolate, and he shall destroy the sinners thereof out of it, man. And that's you Israelites, man. These other nations, they already through, but you Israelites that held Babylon hand in hand, you're going to be put away. You're going to be put out, man. The Lord is going to get rid of your ass, man. So you don't have to believe it, but it's coming. So I'm going to leave it there. Yahweh Shem Yahushua willing, the elect be edified. I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushua, Bahashem Rakakadash, for blessing me with the spirit to do this lesson. Hey, to the next lesson, I'm going to say Shalom.
Printed on, which it already is, either outcome ends the current order, and in that chaos, a reset will be proposed. A new system, likely global, where your digital identity, health records, carbon footprint, and money are merged into one centralized control hub. They will call it progress. They'll call it the solution. But it will be a prison dressed up as utopia.